Whoa, what is going on YouTube? It's your boy Dan, aka aDrive. I'm bringing you guys another week of P4G Tier 3 and below. Your St. Louis Rampardos are taking on the New Orleans Pelippers and Coach John, or Pokemon, one of my good pals and a tremendous battler. He's had a bit of a rough start this season though. He's sitting at 2 wins and 5 losses, and we are sitting at, I believe, 5 wins and 2 losses or something like that. We've done pretty well so far this season. It's been a lot of fun, so hope you guys are enjoying. Hit that like button down below if you are. I really appreciate all the support. Our rain team has been pretty sweet, and we're actually bringing Pikachu for the first time this week, which is cool. There's no team builder because unfortunately John and I had to reschedule our battle, and we're actually battling the same day you guys are seeing this video, so it's probably going to be uploaded a little bit late, but we had to reschedule because he had some stuff going on, I had some stuff going on, so it is what it is, man. But I'll do a quick team recap real quick, but we are bringing Pikachu, and I have a question today for you guys. I did drop Mothim. Mothim was the only Pokemon really that hasn't seen any action. I decided to pick up Parasect, which also was in that kind of like really bad tier that we had to pick 2 Pokemon from. Pikachu and Parasect are my 2 mons there, and I felt like Parasect actually wouldn't be that bad. It's a ground resist, it's a bug type, which I like some bug types, and it's got Spore, but it also benefits from the rain with dry skin, allowing it to have an immunity to water types, and also healing up in the rain, which is kind of cool. So I thought it actually would help the team, whereas Mothim, as much as I like it because it was one of my mascots, I just don't think it's very good. So let's talk about our team. Getting things off here with Pikachu. We're bringing Volt Switch, Knockoff, Thunderbolt, Grass Knot. The main things is he's got that Bronzong. He's got some really slow stuff on his team that I think this thing could be really good against. Grass Knot for his Rhydon, and otherwise Volt Switch and Thunderbolt hit really hard outside of his Zebstrika, which will be able to stop our Electro move. So if he doesn't bring Zebstrika, this thing could actually be pretty solid. We've got our Politoed here, which is bringing Defensive Toad. I'm actually bringing Leftovers this time. I don't have to bring Damp Rock because my team isn't super reliant on rain. I know I have kind of a rain team this week. I have Kabutops and Tornadus, as you can see, but I really don't want to rely on rain, and I also don't want to give that Tentacruel rain dish turn. So Psychic, Scald, Encore, Toxic. Psychic is for Cloyster. This thing is fully defensive for Cloyster. It also hits this Cloyster pretty hard, and Psychic for Tentacruel primarily. We've got our Kabutops here, which is a Stone Edge variant with Rocky MZ. Swift Swim, obviously boosting his speed in the rain. Swords Dance, Liquidation, Aqua Jet. Aqua Jet to just pick things off, primarily his Mienshao, but I really need that Stone Edge to hit things like Braviary. We've got our Tornadus here, which is bringing Air Slash for the first time instead of Hurricane. Again, I don't want to rely too much on rain this week, so Air Slash kind of functions as a better way to work with that. It does the knockouts I need, especially against Mienshao. We have speed for that thing. Knockoff, Grass Knot, U-turn again. Bronzong, weakening that thing down with the knockoff is important. U-turning out to get momentum, and Grass Knot for Rhydon. We got Dragalge here, which is Dragon Pulse, Sludge Wave, Toxic Spikes, and Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball is there for that Bronzong, as I mentioned. Dragon Pulse just hits things really hard. Black Sludge for recovery, and then we do have Toxic Spikes. I do expect his Tentacruel to come, but it could be a really cool option mid and late game to set up those Toxic Spikes. And then last but not least is Landmine, who I've grown to really like. It did some work last week, and I've enjoyed using Claydol, so Stealth Rock, Rapid Spin, Shadow Ball, and Size Shock. With the Colbur Berry, this is a good response to Mienshao, which is one of the bigger threats that he has. It allows me to take a hit from that thing and be able to fire off some big damage. I got a little speed on this for hopefully his Decidueye, and you know, we can hit a couple things pretty hard with this thing. It's not, you know, meant to be offensive, but more of a team supporter. But again, checking that Mienshao is pretty clutch. So that's gonna be our squad. Let me get connect here with John. Let me get online, and we're gonna make this battle happen. I hope you guys are pumped, and again, enjoy the match. Hit that like button, subscribe for new, and I'll see you guys in the battle. Alright guys, we are connected with John here. Let's find out exactly which 6 he is going to be bringing. He's got some pretty big threats like that Mienshao, as I mentioned, Bronzong, Cloyster, Decidueye. The rest of his team is Granbull, Braviary, Tentacruel, Magmar, Zebstrika, Muddiana, and Rhydon. I could see potentially the Braviary coming. I could see, you know, like I mentioned, the ones on the 6 on the screen. I don't really anticipate Magmar. I definitely don't anticipate I don't really think Granbull is going to come, to be honest, and I don't think Muddiana is going to come, so I guess we'll find out. But yeah, man, it should be a good match. I'm excited. I don't really know what's up with his season. John's like a top tier player. He hasn't had that good of a season so far. Maybe, you know, the tier 3 and below format just isn't working for him, but he's definitely a huge threat. And we got to be really careful about that Cloyster. Cloyster trying to set up on me in the rain. Got to be very careful. So Politoed, keeping that thing healthy is going to be super important, because that's really my best way to deal with that thing. So he actually doesn't even bring Cloyster. How does that happen? How do you not even bring Cloyster? Cloyster's like the one thing I'm like, dude, this guy, I'm so scared of Cloyster. Does bring Rhydon though, does bring Zebstrika, everything else I got, right? So Mienshao, Bronzong, Tentacruel, Decidueye, Zebstrika, Rhydon. That's fine, man. That actually kind of lessens the importance, I suppose, of me using my, you know, my Politoed as a way to deal with, you know, whatchamacallit. So, anyway, I kind of like Politoed as a lead against everything not called Zebstrika. And I also like Claydol as a lead against a lot of things. Claydoll's actually a really solid lead against everything that's not Decidueye. Decidueye could be actually kind of problematic in this match. I gotta be very careful about that thing. I do like Claydol as a lead. Stealth Rocks aren't huge though for me. Yeah, that Decidueye could be really, really annoying. I gotta be pretty careful with that. And I also like my Tornadus as a lead, because Tornadus is pretty good. I feel like he leads Zipstrika though, so I'm gonna lead Claydol. I feel like he leads Zipstrika. That's kind of my gut. If he leads Decidueye, so be it. Let's find out. I think I'm gonna lead Claydol though. That Decidueye we gotta be really careful about, because it beats my Claydol. You know, it's got Leaf Blade. It can set up on you. It can Baton Pass. It can U-turn. It can do a lot of different things. So luckily it's pretty slow. You know, generally it's pretty slow, so a lot of my team will outspeed it. But we have to be very careful about that thing. It has Roost, so it can recover itself up, and so on and so forth. Luckily, you know, we've got Dragalge and we've got Tornadus. So we've got some things that can like take it on. I have like great offensive responses to it, but nothing really good defensively against the Decidueye. So see what he's gonna lead with. He's gonna lead with Le'Veon and Bell, which is gonna be that Bronzong. So he wants to get up his Stealth Rocks right off the bat. That is fine with me. We can actually trade rocks here. He may try to Toxic me, but it's not the end of the world. I can also just Shadow Ball for damage, which isn't a bad play either. So either way, like getting up my rocks here is nice. I feel like he's gonna try to set his own rocks though. I kind of want to Shadow Ball for damage, because this is really like one of the few things that switches into Tornadus really well. But I do want to get my rocks up too, because rocks are nice to just chip him down. He's got the way to spin. He can spin them away just like I can though. So I'm gonna go for immediate damage here on his potential Toxic or Stealth Rock. So I do wish I led Politoed or Pikachu right now though, but that's okay. So yeah, I'm sure he's just gonna go for Stealth Rocks here, or try to Toxic me. But we should be able to do a decent amount of damage here with Claydol. And like, we'll see how much it does. I mean, if he's max special defense, he's gonna like eat the hit. So I guess it just depends on how invested he is. Let's see how much this does. We get a big Shadow Ball off here, and that is gonna do a good chunk. So he's physically defensive. He's gonna trick. So he's gonna trick. So trick Bronzong. So he's gonna take our Colbur Berry, which is kind of annoying, and he's gonna give us a Choice Scarf. Okay, so that's fine with me. I mean, I can just continuously fire off Shadow Balls here if I want to, or I could Stealth Rock, I think. Yeah, I can Stealth Rock because I wasn't tricked before. So he's gonna switch out here. I'm gonna get my Stealth Rock up. He's gonna go into Geico Jake, which is gonna be his Tentacruel. Okay, so he brought this thing in so he could Rapid Spin. That's pretty much the straightforward play here. He brought it in so he could Rapid Spin. I have a couple options here. I'm Choice Scarf now, which kind of stinks, so I can predict the Rapid Spin and go into my, yeah, I can go into my Politoed here. I can go into my Kabutops. I mean, if he goes for like a Scald, I feel like that's the only problem here is if he goes for a Scald, I take big damage, but I mean, I can get Pikachu in here, and I really want to get Pikachu in here, because Pikachu puts in a lot of work against his team, but I don't know if it's worth me just bringing it in against, you know, him going for Scald here, because he's going to do a good amount of damage to me if I do that. And realistically, I'm not going to be able to do a ton to him. So I feel like, you know, Politoed's the safe play. You know, I could also, I do kind of like, I mean, what's his switch into me just going for Dragon Pulses here? I think I'm going to go into Adept. Adept can take the hits, doesn't care if it gets burned. It's kind of a good middle ground. If he wants to Rapid Spin, that's fine. But Trick Bronzong right off the bat. Okay, interesting. He goes for Substitute, that's fine. I have Dragon Pulses, so I'm not too concerned about Substitute Tentacruel. He's got Sub, and he's got Black Sludge. And I mean, I do have the Dragon Pulse here, so I'm just gonna go for Dragon Pulse. And we'll see what he wants to do. I'll break the Sub. I'm offensive, so I know I can break the Sub, no problem. I'm surprised to see Substitute on Tentacruel, though. Very surprised about that so far. Interesting set there. Maybe he thought he could sub up on something like Politoed coming in and you know, me not be able to break his Substitute. That was the best thing I could think of. He goes for the Ice Beam, so he's carrying the Ice Beam. I don't think this does too much to us, though, to be honest. Yeah, I mean, it does a chunk. Don't get me wrong, it does a chunk, but nothing absurd. So, you know, we get a big Dragon Pulse off here. That's going to definitely break his Substitute. So, now I've got a decision to make here against this Tentacruel. You know, I mean, I took a decent chunk for the Ice Beam. I can take another one. I mean, I can Dragon Pulse and do about half to him. I can also switch out and try to get something in on the Ice Beam, but I think just getting damage off on this thing is pretty clutch, so I'm just going to Dragon Pulse again. If he wants to go Bronze on, that's fine. He's going to Ice Beam again. Okay, so I'm at 102. Let's see where this puts us. Puts at about 24. I get a big Dragon Pulse off. Okay. So, I mean, he does a lot to us, but this should do a good chunk. Yeah, I mean, that got him really low. I mean, he's sitting at 35% now. So, the question is, does he think I let this thing go down? And do I need Dragalge in this match, really? Do I really need Dragalge? I mean, I feel like I do. I feel like I let Dragalge get really weak here, and I probably shouldn't have. I'm going to Dragon Pulse, though, to ensure he doesn't substitute again. I'm going to let him knock me out. I just have to, you know, I have to pressure him here, so he's going to knock me out. You know. So, I let my Dragalge go down, and that wasn't the best play, to be perfectly honest. It really wasn't the best play, but at the same time, I've weakened this thing, so I can go right into Sparky here. Now, the thing is, he knows that I could definitely be carrying a couple different things here. I think I just knock off, though. I think I'm going to knock off, because I don't think he wants to... I think he's going to switch out into something, so I'm just going to knock off. It may not knock him out, but I think it should. Because he knows the T-Bolt's obvious. He's got two Pokemon that can switch into T-Bolt, which is the Zebstrika and the Rhydon. He switches out, so I get a knockoff on something. He goes right into Alivert. That's perfect for me. That is perfect for me. I don't know if this knocks him out, but this is going to do some damage. This is going to do some damage. He's got the Colbert Berry. Okay. So I don't think he expected the knockoff there. But we did a good chunk to him. And I believe, let me see here. Knockoff into a Colbert Berry does 43. Knockoff into no item does this the same. So I can just knock off again. I can just knock off again, and it should knock him out. So we got rid of this thing's item. He's sitting at about, let's say, 40%. So Pikachu really does pressure his team so much. He's got, like, no safe switch-ins. And if I get rid of Decidueye, that kind of makes up for the fact that I lost my Dragalge. You know, because that was the big thing. That was the big thing. So he's going to switch out again. So I get a knockoff on something else, which is going to be the Dawn, which is going to be his Rhydon. That's fine. He's trying to get some stuff in here. Get him in safely. I'm going to get rid of this thing's item. He's got to know I have Grass Knot, though. He's got to know I have Grass Knot, though, I would imagine. But I think I got to go for it anyway. I think I got to go for the Grass Knot anyway. He's got to know I have it. He's got to know I have it. I'm going to go for it anyway. He stays in. Okay. That should knock him out. And it does. Pikachu putting in work. Alright. I'm glad I didn't overpredict there, because that could have been really bad if I overpredicted. But we got rid of Rhydon. So Pikachu put in the work, man. I feel like a true Pokemon trainer here using Pikachu for the first time in League format, dude. And you can just see how much pressure it exerts. The thing is, it's kind of slow, so it struggles with that. But other than that, it's really solid. So it really puts a lot of pressure on a lot of his team members. You know, it comes in on a couple different things. It's just getting it in is the hard part. But now that Rhydon's gone, his best way to deal with my Tornadus is his Zebstrika. And now that Claydol is Scarf, that may actually come in handy, believe it or not. May actually come in handy. Because now I'm faster than Mienshao, too. So pretty interesting stuff here. Gotta be really careful with how we approach setting up the rain against that Tentacruel. I may have to just go Tornadus and try to knock that thing out, or go straight into Kabutops. He doesn't really have the best switch into Kabutops anymore either. You know, Stone Edge puts a lot of work in, so I have that going for me. So I think in this situation, he's got to go either Mienshao or Zebstrika, obviously. So it depends on which one he thinks is better for momentum. Yeah, I don't know what he does here. I feel like if he goes Zebstrika, I kind of have to go Claydol, even though it's kind of obvious. So here comes Marty, which I think is the Zebstrika, and it is. So I feel like my Claydol play here is so obvious, but I don't know if I have a choice. I feel like I have to go Claydol here to stop the switching. Like, can Zebstrika even knock me out right now? Like, what would he do? He would do HP Grass or HP... Like, can Zebstrika even knock me out? Overheat can knock me out of his Life Orb. He doesn't overheat, though, because my play would be Claydol. I kind of want to just go for knockoff. I'm going to be honest. I kind of want to just go for knockoff. I don't think he overheats here. I really don't. I really don't think he overheats. He probably has it, though. I don't think he overheats. Pikachu puts so much pressure on his team. But I feel like I should go for the knockoff here and make a play. So I'm going to do it. It's a big risk. It's a big risk, but I'm going to make the play. I think the Claydol play is too obvious. He goes Hidden Power Ice. Perfect. And I get the knockoff. What item did he have? He's Expert Belt. Okay, he's got no item too. We're knocking off everything's item right now today. And he's sitting at about 35%. Alright, we're going Claydol now. I'm going Claydol now. Best thing he can do to me is Hidden Power. And I'm very bulky, so... let's see what he's going to do. He goes for Overheat. Okay, so that was his best way to hit the Pikachu. That's fine. He hits me with Overheat. He's got Hidden Power. He's got Overheat. And now he's really, really lowered. I'm pretty free to Shadow Ball here. I think with 2 turns of Rock, Shadow Ball should be able to deal enough to the Tentacruel on Rock switching. 2 Shadow Balls should be enough. And he's obviously got to be careful with his Bronzong here. Coming in on Shadow Balls. So he's going to switch out. I'm going to Shadow Ball the Bronzong. If he goes Tentacruel, he goes into Oliver. So I'm going to hit this thing super effectively. After Rocks, I think we're going to be okay. We might be able to knock this thing out with Claydol here, which is magnificently Choice Scarfed here. And that doesn't do enough, but he's weak enough and we're faster. So I just Shadow Ball again. So I think he has to let this thing go down at this point, I'm pretty sure. It's a little scary though, because Tentacruel can come in now. Gotta be very careful with that. But Shadow Ball does connect. So Claydol kills Decidueye with Shadow Ball. And we get rid of that thing. Alright. And we've gotten his Bronzong at 75. His Tentacruel's at 35. His Zipstrike is at 35. We're putting ourselves in range to clean with Aqua Jets here. Here comes Low Main. This thing is very scary because of his knockoff potential here. I have to decide what my best play is. Which, I mean, I do have Tornadus. I do have Tornadus, which can still revenge kill this thing. So the question is, how much do I need damage on this thing to beat it with Aqua Jet or whatever? Yeah, about 40%. What is my Claydol doing here? I don't want this thing to set up on me. You know? Shadow Ball's like 25%. He can U-turn out. Do I need this Claydol? I mean, Claydol's nice because it comes in on Zipstrike every time. I feel like I should save it. I think I gotta go Politoed here. So I'm gonna go Politoed. I think it's the right play. He very well might U-turn into Tentacruel. And I feel like that's what he does do, is he U-turns into Tentacruel. But I can find out if he's Regenerator at least. Or Reckless. I think he just U-turns into Tentacruel here. He's gonna Fake Out. Okay. I know he's not Scarf now. And I'm glad I went and I'm glad I switched it out. Now I'm in a situation where I could just Psychic. Because I don't think he goes Bronzong here. I could just Psychic the incoming Tentacruel. And that's what I'm gonna do. He goes for the U-turn, that's fine. I'm not too concerned about this damage. I have leftovers, so he is Life Orb. Okay, I didn't even see that before. So we see Life Orb. So he may be Life Orb or Generator, but that's good to know that he's Life Orb. So Fake Out, U-turn. If he goes Tentacruel here, I'm gonna hit this thing with a big Psychic. And after Rocks, that may be good. Because I don't think he goes Bronzong, man. I just don't think he goes Bronzong here. I just don't think he can afford to. Because if I Scald and hit the Bronzong and burn it, it's going to be in a really bad spot. Whereas the Tentacruel coming in can take that hit, and it's got probably Rain Dish. I mean, I guess he could have ran Liquid Ooze for Ludicolo, but I would imagine he's got Rain Dish. But I'm glad we set up those Stealth Rocks earlier in the game, because those have been actually really clutch. Getting that little bit of extra chip damage every time something comes in makes him really think about his choices. But Politoed Psychic here should do good damage to anything. Even if, like, he can't go Zipstrike here. So he could go Bronzong. But again, I have Scald and I have Encore. So, like, anything he goes for, I can just kind of lock him into that. So my hope here is he goes Tentacruel, because then we bop it with a Psychic and really put some work in. He goes Le'Veon Bell, so good play, good play. He makes a good play there going to Le'Veon Bell. But now he knows I can pressure him with Psychic, so I'm not even that concerned. This thing is Colberberry. It's weakened. I can Scald now. I can also switch out and try to get momentum with something else. Could be Pikachu or something, but I think just Scald is a really solid play here because Tentacruel doesn't set up on me, so I'm just going to Scald. If he wants to get rocks up, that's fine. We're putting him in a lot of pressure here. He does double out into Tentacruel, I'm assuming. He goes into Geico Jake, which is the Tentacruel, yep. So he takes rocks damage. He's going to take a Scald. If we get a burn here, this can be really nice to negate the Black Sludge. That does a lot of damage. We don't score a burn. He does have the Rain Dish, though, but I do think he's in range for Psychic, so I mean, I can just keep playing this game as he tries to stall out my Rain. I'm not concerned about what Tentacruel is going to do to me. So, I'm just going to go for the Psychic. And if he goes back into Bronzong, that's fine. Like, it's clear that this thing cannot repeatedly switch in. And Leftovers Politoed was such a good bring, because we don't get worn down as easily. I didn't want to rely on Rain this week, you know? But the best thing he could do to me is Sludge Bomb and Poison me, I think. So he actually has Giga Drain. Okay, so I stand corrected there. He does have the Giga Drain, which is a good bring on his part. We'll see how much he's at. He's sitting at about 45%. I'm going to get a Psychic off here. And almost knocks him out. He gets his Rain Dish. Now the question is he going to make a play here, or can I get my Tornadus in? Is he going to make a play here, or can I get my Tornadus in? I feel like I keep this thing around. I'm going to go Tornadus, I think, because even an Ice Beam I don't think knocks me out, and I can just pressure him with Knockoff. So, how many turns of Rain do I have? Yeah, it would make sense that he would have the Giga Drain. This is my last turn of Rain anyway. So, does he Ice Beam here, predicting me to switch? I'm going to go Tornadus. If he goes for the Ice Beam, just a really good play on his part. I feel like he's kind of behind, so he may make the Ice Beam play here. I wouldn't be surprised if he makes it. He goes for Giga Drain. Okay, good. And this is his last turn of Rain, so we're in a situation where I get to freely knock off now and put some pressure on him, and I think knockoff should knock him out here, I would imagine, because I am Life Orb, so we're going to be hitting, you know, everything pretty hard. And he's obviously got to be concerned about Hurricanes and stuff, but knockoff should definitely put in enough work here. So I'm just going to go for that knockoff. Even if it doesn't knock him out, it puts him in a situation where something like Claydol can come in and just click Shadow Ball again. Or, you know, Kabutops can pick it off with Aqua Jet later because he's not going to have his recover anymore. So really, it's a matter of just getting Kabutops in a situation where it can win this game. And it's really close to being able to do that either way. So knockoff should be able to do enough here, and it does. So Tornadus comes in clutch there. Kills Tentacruel with knockoff. And he's in a situation where he actually kind of he has to go into his Zebstrika. So he's going to do just that and go into Marty here. And he's pretty much got to click an electric move. But this is where having Landmine is so clutch, because I could just go Landmine right now. Even if he clicks HP Ice, Landmine comes in without a problem. And it outspeeds and Shadow Balls, which is really nice. So I'm just going to make the safe play right now. Because he doesn't want to electric move because of Pikachu. Let's see what he's going to do. He obviously stays in. So he probably HP Ices or T-Bolts. Let's see here. He goes for the Volt Switch. So we make the right play. We see Volt Switch. And now I'm in a situation where I can just pressure him with Shadow Balls. So. Or Psyshock. But I think Shadow Ball is better because it hits the Bronzong. He may go Mienshao here. He may be forced to go to Mienshao here. But if I Shadow Ball, I pressure the Bronzong out. And, like, I still have plenty of answers for Mienshao. Mienshao can knock me out. I really don't care. I could sack off Pikachu against Mienshao. I could sack off Politoed against Mienshao. Like, none of that really matters. And actually, if I sack off Politoed, then I get to go into... I go into Kabutops, and Kabutops outspeeds everything anyway. So let's just Shadow Ball here. It's about just getting damage off on Bronzong. He goes for the Hidden Power, so I'm actually surprised that he was faster than me. I guess this thing is just faster than me, but that's okay. Claydol kills Zebstrika with Shadow Ball. So Scarf Claydol isn't faster than Zebstrika, really? Am I crazy? So 104. Oh, I guess not. 104 times 1.5 puts me at 156. Yeah, I guess Zebstrika is just faster. Yeah. He's definitely just faster. Okay. Well then, there you go. Here goes Mienshao. 100%. That thing is Regenerator, so we know that. I don't really need to keep Claydol anymore, so I'll just let you knock me out. That's fine with me. You could U-turn, you could do whatever you want. I'm just gonna Shadow Ball. I don't need my Claydol anymore. He goes to the knockoff, that's fine. I see knockoff, that's gonna knock me out. So Mienshao knocks out. Let's see here. Kills Claydol with knockoff. And now I'm in a situation where Claydol's gone. Substrike is gone. He's got knockoff. Okay, so my obvious play here is just going into Tornadus. And really it's clicking knockoff. Or clicking air slash and then knockoff. I mean, either one. He obviously cannot allow me to air slash here. But I could just U-turn on the Bronzong anyway and just chip that thing down, so it's really a non-issue. I want a knockoff here, but knockoff could actually be the play that cost me the game, so I'm just gonna air slash and play it safe. He stays in. Yeah, so he predicted me to predict him to switch out, because that's the way he has to come back in this game, so I understand why. I understand why. Or he was hoping that I would miss my Hurricane. That would be the other alternative option, is I miss Hurricane. But I'm carrying Air Slash this week instead, knowing that Rain wasn't going to be a key part of our plan. So now I just have to beat this Bronzong, which I think I'm going to give the honors to Pikachu. Well, I'm going to knock off and see what happens, but then I think Pikachu can come in and potentially get the KO. But I'll knock off, see how much it does. I mean, we know he's Colbur Berry because he took my Colbur Berry earlier in the game, which is kind of funny that he's going to have that. So let's see what he's going to do here. He's probably Gyro Balls or something. Zen Headbutt. Okay, so he had that for our Dragalge. I think we live, though. Yeah, we do. And, I mean, this is a situation where it's like, do I care about differential? I feel like I should, right? I feel like I should care about differential. So I'm going to U-turn out. I'm going to U-turn out. Because I don't think knockoff kills, so I think it would be close. I'm just going to U-turn out and go into Politoed. And let Politoed get the kill with Scald. Because I think differential is more important than giving a kill to a Pokemon, so. Or I give it to Nautical. I go to Politoed. I'm gonna go Politoed, and the reason why is because there's a chance he's got Grass Knot or Energy Ball or something, which would knock out Nautical, but I don't think it knocks out Politoed. So that's why I'm gonna make the Politoed play here, just in case. I don't think he necessarily has space for all that, but he goes for Zen Headbutt, so that's fine. So this should be game here. Politoed should be able to Scald and pick up the W against John and Bronzong and the New Orleans Pelippers. Really, really good game. I was a little nervous there at the beginning of the game, just being totally honest, when Dragalge went down so early against that Tentacruel set. But I knew once I weakened, like, Pikachu was so clutch in this game, dude. Like, Pikachu only got 1 kill, but let me tell you, it put in so much work with Scald. Let me just make note of that. It put in so much work because it pressured him with knockoff. Like, there was that period of time where, like, Pikachu knocked off like 3 or 4 times in a row, and we made that nice read on the Zip Strikeout, which worked out really well. But you know, Pikachu got a kill, Claydol with 2 kills, dude. Torn with 2 kills, and then Politoed to finish it up there at the end. So just a good game overall to John. And again, sorry guys that the match was late. I do appreciate you checking it out. And hit that like button down below. We're cruising here in the P4G, doing really well in the tier 3 and below league. So hopefully we can get that momentum going. Thank you guys so much. My name is Dan. I also go by aDrive, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace. Thanks so much for checking out my last video. If you like that one, you'll definitely like this one. And be sure to subscribe for more as I post Pokemon videos every single day.